This video is made possible by our loyal Patreon supporters. Visit patreon.com/PsycheTruth.
Hello, welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a back and glutes massage for the lovely Holly. Let's go ahead and get started. If you don't have time to watch this video right now, go ahead and save to your watch later and just watch whenever you get a chance. So to start, I'm just going to make sure I have plenty of space. And with this massage, I am going to start with the glutes and just kind of a gentle way, start rocking. I find that this simple technique is really effective for the glute medius, but not as effective for the bigger glute max. We'll have to mix things up here in a minute. You don't have to spend a long time working on these glutes if you use effective techniques. But it's kind of, each person is different too. Because this is the beginning of the massage, I don't want to just go right in with my elbow, so I'm gonna just spend a little more time using firm but not too intense pressure. And I'm gonna work my way up that IT band, that long tendon, the side of the leg, and eventually go in with some deep tissue here. I usually step away from the table when I work on this IT band just to give myself a little more space. I am all about using the table as support if you're not crowding your client. Anything that helps you to feel more stable is a good thing. Really important that you're not putting your wrist in a weird angle here, because you're definitely loading your wrist. I'm going to start working my way up this IT band. Long tendon that runs up the side of the leg and around the hip. Just gotta be a little gentle as you get into these bonier hip areas. I like to wrap these holds around the hip bone, around the iliac crest, and just help my client to feel a little more aware of that area and how it affects everything else. So the glutes and the erector spinae work together to hold the spine upright. If somebody's struggling with posture related stuff, rounded shoulders, and they're just feeling pain, it can be because of weak glute muscles, and just poor posture in general. At this point, I am going deeper. Yeah, the muscle is responding really well. Always with deep tissue, just letting my client take the lead. And always with deep tissue as well, encouraging my client to be engaged with the process. And just deep breaths and being present. And without losing contact, I'm just going to transition into this Glute Max. These compressive holds themselves are a nice way to work on the soft tissue a little bit, but I don't feel like I get very far just using that technique alone. So I usually do active release, and I like to make sure that my client's leg is nice and relaxed, and want to make sure that they don't have any pain in their knee too. I turn the leg. And I am going to just start working my way into this Glute Max. And the glutes can be pretty caught off guard when they get worked on. So just, listening to muscles that aren't ready for deeper work, kind of backing off when you need to. And healthy, strong glutes do wonders for the back. They just offer a really strong foundation. If you're someone that has kind of chronic, annoying back pain, and assuming you don't have a herniated disc or anything like that, then you might want to focus on building up your glute muscles. That can really help. And just spending a little more time here. Don't be afraid to just politely request that your client keep their leg nice and relaxed. And sometimes I'll just, when I find a spot that is more contracted, I'll just hold and release. I love working on the Glute Max. Just can help so many different issues when it's done well. And I think that is good enough for now. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my oil and go right in with the back part of this massage. I am certainly a little OCD when it comes to certain things, just making sure the arms are in the same position. Planks are a really great exercise for strengthening these erector spinae muscles. And strong erector spinae muscles just are such a support for the spine. After that glute work, I like to really hone in on the mid-back and the hips. And if I don't do any dry work on the back, compressive type holds, I'll just really take my time with these effleurage strokes. It's just a perfect way to work the soft tissue. And I'm going to start focusing on this right side of the spine. I'm not going to do the left side today. And I'm going to start wrapping my hand around that hip bone, just creating more length and space in these erector spinae and where they attach. It can feel really nice if you wrap the right hand around that shoulder as you're working into the hip. Repetition is really powerful when it comes to getting the muscles to relax. And I am creating more length in between these erector spinae muscles as I work away from the spine. Just being careful not to hit the ribs or the spine itself. Feel really good as you get a little lower to bring that stroke around the hip bone. And if you feel kind of like you're using a technique and you're not sure how to transition gracefully into the next thing, like, don't worry about it. Just do the best you can and keep learning. Because there are those moments still where I'm like, okay, this isn't going to be the smoothest, but that's okay. And just landing on these mid-back muscles, and I'm going to shorten them now. So working in towards the spine. Hopefully getting rid of some of that stickiness. Just creating a greater sense of freedom and movement in that mid-back. Whenever I am more focused on the erector muscles, I like to work on the lower trap. The lower trap isn't an area I focus on nearly as much as the upper portion. It's really nice to include after that. Work along those muscles along the spine. And of course, you have to work on the upper trap muscles. And the rhomboids. I like to begin with the rhomboids before doing anything deeper in the upper trap. If you're kind of fumbling around and you need a little more tautness in that trap muscle, you can position the arm a little differently. Sometimes I'll just pull the arm out and down if I need, but I like the arm in this position by the hip when I'm working on the upper trap. You can even put the hand on the low back, and that really opens up that area. If I'm picking up on this being a little overwhelming for my client, I'll usually just give them some more breaks if they want deep tissue, but they don't have a high pain tolerance. And ending with good old effleurage. It's a perfect way to end back massage, in my opinion. Just one long stroke. And that is all for today. Thank you for joining me today. I really enjoyed getting to spend this time with you. If you enjoyed today's video, you should check out our Patreon page where you'll find some really great content as well. I look forward to seeing you there.